Good evening. Thank you to those of you who are joining us today for this, the closing evening performance of Dear Mr. President, Sincerely We. It's already been actually almost 7 months since our One Act Festival, which we held at the end of May and the beginning of June of 2020. So this is our second go around with Zoom theater, and we're so grateful to have you joining us today. This is the first of 3 productions that we're going to have this year, and we're looking forward to an exciting season ahead filled with new challenges and new beauty. And lots of preparing for the unexpected and the art that comes from that, which thus far has been really fruitful, and we're really excited for the rest of the year and whatever it brings. So in a moment, we're going to press play on Dear Mr. President, Sincerely We. First, I want to just take a moment to acknowledge that as we have found through yet another set of tragic and unprecedented events over the past couple of days, we live in a volatile time when caring for one another and listening to each other proves its value every single day. And luckily for all of us, this is a play that gives us a wonderful opportunity to sit back and listen to the voices of our friends, our kids, our students, our neighbors, to listen. So before we proceed, I just want to make 3 very brief shout outs. This is the first production in the 10 or so years that I have been involved at Thomas Edison High School Theater that we have partnered with Project Success on the show. And, Project Success is an organization that is very dear to me and has been for many, many years beyond my 10 at Edison. And it's been just such a great treat to have that partnership during a time that we're expecting the unexpected and we needed new creative energy. And so to have Katie and Rose with us nearly every day on the process, as well as the help from the beginning from Laura Garcia and everybody at Project Success, they're great people, and it feels great to have those friends. Secondly, I want to acknowledge the hard work of Carl Reinhardt, who is the technical director of Thomas Edison High School Theater. 2020 and now 2021 are bringing all kinds of new challenges to what it means to try to produce theater. And he has met every challenge with grace and curiosity and energy, and it's a pleasure to continue to work with Carl. And thirdly, to acknowledge and thank, and in just a moment, welcome the director of Dear Mr. President, Sincerely We, is Nora Montañez Patterson, who you will hear from. She will greet us in just a second, and then she will facilitate a short discussion with some of our student artists after the show. So lastly, I'll say that your ticket tonight is free, and we would love to ask you for a pay what you can donation. The way that you would make that donation tonight is by going to edisonactivitycouncil.com to click donate, and then to mention theater somewhere in the memo line. So thank you again for being here, and enjoy Dear Mr. President, Sincerely We.
Hello, my name is Nora Montañez Patterson, and I'm the director to Dear Mr. President, Sincerely We. Today you will see 5 Thomas Edison performing artists create a piece that illuminates how our current society and the last 4 years have shaped them, supported by Thomas Edison video editors who have worked collaboratively to create the piece that you're about to see tonight. Thank you for joining us tonight, and wherever you are and wherever we are finding you. We hope that you enjoy the show, and we hope that you join us afterwards for a small talk back with some of the artists and our crew. And now, Dear Mr. President, Sincerely We.
the date again? I will make America the Gadatas.
Great Wall. Mexico paid for that wall. Mark my words.
More election stuff. Oh, some news. What? This can't be happening. It can't. My phone! Oh my god, election news. You won. Suck it, Trump!
Hi, I'm Maxine. You know, in the past 4 years, I have changed a lot. The world has changed a lot. Things have changed a lot. In 4 years, there are almost 1,460 days. There are almost 35,050 hours in 4 years. 4 years feels like no time, yet so much time. My life has changed. My family has changed. People I am friends with and how I am friends with them has changed. 4 years ago, I was a middle schooler in 6th grade. 6th grade, I was 11 years old. I would wear some leggings that never really matched my t-shirt I wore, with some Converse, preferably black. That's so crazy to me because 6th grade feels like yesterday, but 4 years sounds like forever. Other than how long 4 years ago is, 4 years ago, a president was elected. That president has let people's hatred run rampant. The sexism, racism, and more things the president has done are disturbing. 4 years there have been laws, changes, and events that have made things so different. The incompetence of a president says so much about our country. How stupid this man and the evil he radiates is disgusting. In the last year even, there has been a global pandemic that has been grueling. People have lost jobs, their sanity, and even lives. How did we allow for a president to not believe in science to wear a mask? Or even global warming? Science, scientists. The things this man has done are despicable, as many presidents in the past, alike America's dark history of harming so many people, we continue to let people in office that harm others. Human beings. This president has let over 250,000 people die. 22 million people have lost their jobs. People have lost safety and security. People have lost loved ones. Kids are isolated from friends in school and were given long days of staring at a screen. The way we do things has entirely changed, yet this man has done nothing. Nothing. He has and never will be good. What about all the children at the border who were put in cages, literal cages, and separated from their families? What about the women this man has assaulted? What about the police brutality of African Americans in this country? What about the school-to-prison pipeline? What about the trans people that have and continue to be killed? As the world is withering, this man is our orange and self-centered president. He is our leader. That doesn't make sense to me. It isn't okay that people think this person is any way good. He said global warming isn't real, as animals continue to go extinct and the ocean becomes more and more polluted. He doesn't care about you or me. He cares about himself. This man is a menace to our country, yet people continue to support him. How you can support a man who does nothing but harm people in and outside of this country, I cannot understand. How you can decide to support a person who should be in jail disturbs me, baffles me. How can you do that? How can we continue to let the world go dark? How can we continue to let people be disturbing? This man should have never been president.
Why are we having all these people from shithole countries coming here? Our president has always degraded women, and we've always let him go free.
ready. Hello, my friends. It's me, Mark Meterlander. No one knows I'm an alien, though, do they? I'm debating racist know-it-all Donald Trump in just a little bit. It's my first debate, so I'm feeling nervous and excited. It should be okay, though, because this guy doesn't know anything about politics. Why would Trump run for president? And why would people re-elect this jock? Anyways, I hope you guys will tune in and watch the debate at 7 p.m. It's pitiful, devastating. Back in the day, it was different than now. In 2009, when Barack Obama was president, everything was good. Everything was good. Don't you understand? We had affordable health care. President Obama created a strong economy, and America started to appear more progressive. After Donald Trump was elected, our nation fell apart. We're in the middle of a pandemic that could have been resolved if the necessary precautions were taken at the beginning. There's a need to abolish the issue of systematic racism in America. Marriage equally is once again being debated. Do you really want to re-elect a president who doesn't care about your well-being? Vote for me, because I will make America a safe place. I will love and support you no matter what your culture is, no matter where you're from. Make peace on us. 2020 was a scatty year. We lost loved ones, jobs, homes, and our ability to go out and freely socialize. We had wildfires, riots, lockdowns, and many deaths. Those things can't change, but many of them could have been prevented. As your new president, I will make it my mission to focus on the problems, prevent new ones, and help us have a better future.
Right now, a historic moment. We can now project the winner of the presidential race. CNN projects Donald Trump wins the presidency. The business tycoon and TV personality capping his improbable political journey with an astounding upset victory. Donald J. Trump will become the 45th president of the United States, defeating Hillary Clinton at a campaign unlike anything we've seen in our lifetime.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Why did he please win?
And building.
After 4 long, tense days, we've reached a historic moment in this election. We can now project the winner of the presidential race. CNN projects Joseph R. Biden Jr. is elected the 46th president of the United States, winning the White House and denying President Trump a second term.
Oh my God.
Mr. President, congratulations. You won the election, but the job is not over yet. This country has been divided in the past 4 years, so it's your job to unite it. This country has also gone through a lot: racism, COVID-19, and other stuff. So it's your job to help find a solution and guide the people towards a better future. I wish you good luck, Mr. President. Trump won't lead graciously, but Pence can and should.
Trump rages over the election, ignoring a rampaging virus. Dear Mr. President, why is it that I open Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, I see reports of massive shooting? The fake news that you call the media is digging their hands for truth. A truth that is very devastating, that a president like you is failing to be a leader who acknowledges our needs seriously. Kids, adults, seniors are getting killed like animals on a hunting day. Why? 'Cause there isn't a gun reform. No, humans are meant to grow and make positive changes in our nation. I'm scared. I'm scared if a person who carries a gun will open the doors of my school and tear many lives apart. Many people are scared, not just me. Many of these massacres should have poked your heart to sit and think of those families who lost their loved ones. Question yourself, what is it that you want to do to prevent many bullets from taking down American lives? You see, fast action was needed from you, Mr. President. But what did you do? Your ass went on to play golf, although you suck? I bet Tiger Woods has a smirk on his face, watching you hold that golf stick with your messed up hair. At the White House, there's beautiful plants and trees. Those plants and trees started off as small, defenseless seeds. Once you tear a sprouting plant apart, it won't regenerate back to its readiness of growth, and it won't develop fruit. Just like humans, once they are gone, they can't resurrect and continue educating themselves for a better world. We can't kill our future generation. You would be destroying our country into flames. Flames that are already destroying acres of land, along with many animal habitats. Water's contaminated. Humanity is being contaminated by racial divisions, violence, and hate. And what did you say?
I think Islam hates us. They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists.
How is it possible that one of the richest countries during your presidency, including you, Mr. President,
I'm really rich.
isn't able to provide health care for all? Treat people like people, not like animals locked up in cages. Care for the homeless. Provide resources for our continued education of many generations to come. Support our minority groups. But you do have that urgency for money to be invested on a wall.
We're gonna build the wall, we have no choice.
And complain about giving up money on another matter that is very important to us. Mr. President, you for sure like to say, believe me, a lot.
And believe me, her and Bill had a bad evening. Believe me.
You still didn't believe me, but believe me, it is, okay?
I guess you are running out of words. If you want us to believe in your words or promises, then you ought to take action and stop bragging about your intelligence.
I know more about drones than anybody. Nobody knows much more about technology, this type of technology, certainly, than I.
Which I doubt that it'd be higher than a dolphin's IQ. Mr. President, if you're not willing to listen to us, together we will unite and get the job done by choosing our next 46th President of the United States of America. That isn't you. We will choose a president who will represent us all with dignity and respect. Good luck on tweeting your butt off, Mr. President. Sincerely, Leonid.
And feels like nothing's really being done by our political leaders to actually enact real change to that.
I understand what needs to be done. I understand only change will happen from the bottom up.
As all of you guys know, at the end of 2019, a virus was taking its form and becoming a global pandemic. Unfortunately, our government wasn't cautious enough to handle this threat effectively. Many of our healthcare workers passed away while saving other people. Not just healthcare workers, but essential workers that provided resources to everyone who was impacted by this pandemic.
Thank you for keeping our communities safe by wearing the mask.
The last 4 years have been really hard on us, whether it comes to COVID, protests and riots, and a lot of other problems. But remember, we can get through this. We can move past this to create a better future.
The Vice President-elect, we truly anticipate that this new administration will do a much better job in supporting our hospitals, our schools, and have those new vaccines distributed for all minorities and patients in the U.S. Also, we anticipate that they will work with experts to deal with environmental issues, inequality, racial injustices, and many more other issues.
I have hope for a better US and for a better world, where people are treated as human beings.
We can get through this pandemic if we all follow these rules, stay positive that things will get better. There's a bright future ahead.
We need hope. We need resilience. We need grit. We can't stop fighting for what is right.
This being said, I want to thank everyone out there who helped us in a lot of ways. Thank you for your service.
And I also want to thank all the doctors who have worked so hard for us. We appreciate you.
I have hope that even with downfalls, that we can continue to pick ourselves back up again. So keep standing up and keep fighting for what is right. Don't ever stop getting back up.
Cheer up, we got this.
Hello, good evening. Thank you so much for being with us tonight. The last night of the performance. Very, very overwhelmed by the turnout for the show. So thank you very, very much. We are at the portion where we will have a talk back with some of the artists from the show. As you can see, Shema K is here with us, as well as Maxine and Paige, and we will hear from them shortly. If you have any questions whatsoever for some of the artists, you can type that in into the Facebook chat, and I will get a little ring here to inform me that you have a question, and then kind of toss it out to all the other artists that are joining us tonight. All right. So I would love to hear. Let's go around the Zoom and introduce yourself and what grade you're in, and yeah, and then we'll go to the next person. Who would like to start?
I can start. So I'm Maxine Allman. I'm in the 10th grade. And yeah, I was a actor in the play.
Thank you, Maxine.
I guess I can go next. My name is Paige. I am a senior this year at Edison High School, and I was an editor in this play this year.
Thank you, Paige.
I would like to go next. Hi, I'm Shamarke Abdi, and I'm a senior this year, and I was an actor in the play.
Wonderful. Thank you all. So my first question is, how am I finding you today right after seeing the performance?
Great.
What makes it great, Shamarke?
I feel great because not just the work I've done, but seeing the work that the other cast members put into this play. Because I think it was a very, very tricky play, especially through distance learning, and I loved by watching it too. I'm like, whoa, this is just like a massive masterpiece.
Yeah, yeah. You all worked very hard on this. Just a little brief background to everyone. All of the artists have been working on this together with Project Success and myself as directing for a month now. And we were working around using writing prompts and using improvisation. And what we did is we allowed everyone to use their own voice and write through writing prompts, create the art that they wanted to do. So as you saw, there were various different things. We had monologues, we had digital drawing, we had mini movies, and so yeah. So everyone kind of put out there how they wanted to express themselves. So that was very important for all of us. Anyone else? How am I finding you, Maxine, right after this?
It's kind of, it's happy because, we are getting new leaders coming into our governments. And so even with all the terrible things that have been happening in the past 4 years and in the last year, or even in the last week, I have hope for change. And so watching this is kind of like, it's saddening, but it gives me hope for there to be change and new things, new beginnings.
Yes, yes. Thank you for that, Maxine. Yes. Paige, how are you feeling?
It was really, I had never done or heard of anything like this as a play, so I was really excited when I first heard about it from Reinhard introducing it to us. I was very excited to see how, especially the artists, I knew a few of them, but I didn't know everybody. So it was really cool to see what they came up with and their different perspectives. And I think that, especially watching that afterwards, we all kind of heard about possibly what each other was doing, but it was really cool to see what everyone else had been working on during those 2 weeks while we were rigged off with our other artists. So it was a really cool thing to see, and I liked how everyone had their own visual representation of it.
Yeah, that's great. I don't know if you hear an echo, so let me know if you do, but it sounds like we're good. Talk a little bit about your process. Paige, you kind of touched on it a little bit about that the artists were working prior to the editors coming in. So talk a little bit about what that process was like.
I think with I don't know how long they had been working on it, but I know that when we heard about it, we initially were like, okay, so we got to figure out how many, like what they were doing, like visually, like either drawing or through videos, in general, and then partnering us, and then like we got the list of the different artists, and we're like, oh, I know that person, or based on what they were doing, and we had figured out who was partnered with who, and then we all kind of work with them independently to figure out how to best represent what they wanted to show.
Yeah. And we touched a little bit about this yesterday, Maxine. You were partnered with Svetlana, who we had yesterday in conversation. But Svetlana mentioned that with your collaboration with her, that it was very fluid. It was very kind of like you just had her take the reins of like, here, you edit this, and this is what I'm giving you, and you worked really well together that way.
Yeah, I don't know. We had a kind of mutual understanding, and we had known each other before. Just that, like, I knew that Svetlana was just like, she's good at editing, and that if she made something, I was most likely gonna like it, and if not, we could work something out to like fix it. But yeah, and I mostly just was like, I just wanted these couple little things, but otherwise you can do whatever you want with the editing. And I actually really liked how it turned out when I first watched it. And even now, it was just like, wow, I didn't actually think it was going to be as.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. Shamar K, I have a question about Mark Niederlander. So, what was your process in order to create Mark Niederlander's character?
Like you know, actually, before we also on the weekend too, I'd always like think about him, and I would think like if he's gonna be president, what should he be like? So I gave, of course, well, I gave him an accent. I wanted to give him an accent. And for the process of him, he was, I wanted to make him someone who was against Trump, that could like that was like a little had a little better mindset than Trump did. Like I wanted him to have a mind that like, yeah, he should my character Mark Niederlander, Mark should have like should allow like something similar, it was like something similar to Martin Luther King's speech, but not really. But he was like one of those people who were like, yeah, he'll treat this like a person no matter what their religion is, or no matter where they are from. Like if if someone's Mexican, Mark, and someone else is Christian, Mark Niederlander won't treat those two differently. They'll treat both of them with respect. So that's what I wanted to make him, as someone who is you know, nice, a nice guy, speaking about Trump from his heart. And
yeah,
then
we definitely followed you on that. Like we could tell that who Mark Niederlander was. So it was lovely. So I have one last question. So why do you think this work is important?
like, dear Mr. President, I would say the work on that is important, is because like presidents, we get new presidents every 4 years, and like the passage for people to vote, like it's important to vote and get out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Maxine or?
So what I was thinking, I think it's really important to get youth voices, perspective on things because in a lot of places or in the US, it's just that youth voices are pushed aside. And so I think it's very important to see the art and the perspective of youth voices and things, especially in things like politics, because, you know, the youth are future and the ones coming in to be new senators or presidents. And so it's just important to hear those perspectives. And yes.
Yeah, Maxine, thank you. Anything to add, Paige?
I mean, they mostly said it all, basically that student perspective, and I'm a really firm believer on that. I think it's also it was really cool to see that represented through, again, with theater, because that really draws in people already. So having it be very more like centered towards our what's happening now rather than like what's written in a story or some other thing, I think is a really good representation or really good realization that people can really connect to a little bit more.
Yeah, thank you. Shamarke, we have a question from Facebook, Shamarke, specifically for you. A teacher of yours is wondering about when you decided to do an accent.
When did I decide to? Like,
yeah, like when creating your character, you decided to do an accent.
Yeah, while I was first I would just like draw him, kind of like draw him out on paper, and then like write words, and then I did that stuff. He sounded like in the beginning. I thought Mark Muirlander sounded like someone who was who's good. Would be like someone who would have like enough evidence about being present. But like I gave him an act. I thought about an accent, and I did that act, and I thought, I think I could work with this.
Yeah, it'll be hard work, but I can do it, and you did. It was wonderful. Yeah. All of you have been working super hard, and it's very. People don't remember that collaboration is theater, and that's one of the things that you need everyone involved to do performing. Right? To be on stage, you need lights, you need costumes, you need helping with an accent or shaping of your body and the warming up. I mean, it's all collaborative. So thank you for reminding me of that in this process. And you all did fantastic. Remember that there are people that are just praising you on Facebook. So I really hope that you get a chance to see that. But to everyone that has joined us tonight, thank you very much for taking the time of your busy days and nights to join us and listen to our voices because they are very important, like they mentioned. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful night, and we hope to see you again. Thank you, Shamarke. Thank you, Maxine. Thank you, Paige. And thank you, Max, who is hiding. Have a wonderful night, everyone.
You do.